Welcome to Confident Connections, the podcast that helps you show up with confidence and connect with people on a deeper level. I'm Lisa Liu, and here we break down the small signals that create big impact, body language, presence, and the simple habits that help you communicate with ease, increase your influence, and magnify your impact. You'll learn how to make strong first impressions, build trust faster, and feel more confident in any conversation or setting. If you're ready to improve your communication skills and create connections that move your life and your leadership forward, you are in the right place. Hey, thank you so much for being here today. I'm just thrilled to get to spend a little bit of time with you as we talk today about the power of your hands. Our hands either help us or hurt us when it comes to our communication. So, visible hands, if you've never heard this before, it's really fascinating research. But when our hands are visible, it builds trust. When our hands are hidden, it can create doubt in the person's mind that we're talking to. So let's just talk about hands in the pockets for a minute. So right now I have on some pants. So I just put my hands in my pockets as I said that because it's comfortable. It really is. This is just kind of a comfortable way. They're usually up a little bit higher, so it takes some pressure off. I don't know. It's just a comfortable way to stand. However, if I'm in a room with people and my hands are in my pocket, I may feel comfortable, or I may even think that it makes me look relaxed. But when your hands are missing, it can inhibit trust. People want to see your hands. So they don't consciously think, oh, where's their hands? They're missing. I don't trust them. It's a subconscious perception that all of a sudden trust seems to minimize at those times, okay? Similarly, let's say you're sitting and having coffee with someone and your hands are underneath the table. Maybe they're sitting on your lap and they can't see your hands. Same thing, it would be a better practice to make sure that your hands can be seen. So sitting on the table, holding your cup of coffee, steeple fingers under your chin, leaning forward a little bit, maybe with your elbows on the table, so you show that you're really listening. Visible hands are always going to trump invisible hands, okay? Quality meat raised humanely is really important for me and my family, and we've been using ButcherBox for a long time now. They have 100% grass-fed beef, free-range organic chicken cuts, humanely raised pork, and wild-caught salmon, burgers, sea scallops, and smoked salmon as well. Every box is fully customizable and their shipping is free. If you would like a discount on your first order, use the code LisaLou and go to lisalouimpact.com/meat. That's lisalouimpact.com/meat and use the code LisaLou for a discount off of your first order. Similarly, crossing your arms, which can be a whole episode on its own because it's one of the things I get asked about the most. But as that can kind of signal withholding or blocking, when you cross your arms, if you do it right now, one hand is hidden, the other one is typically on top. Still hidden hand, right? At least one of them. So not only can that be a form of blocking, but it's not always a form of blocking. I don't know, should that be a separate episode? I may do a separate episode on that. Just know that crossed arms, there are appropriate times to use it, like when you want to block. If you have somebody who is coming too close to your space, that's an appropriate time. There's a time to block when it's just you don't want them to come any closer. So that's I'll just tell you that right now, okay? Mirroring, we're going to get into probably on the next episode. That may also very occasionally and for short periods of time be an appropriate time to cross your arms. But for the context today, crossing your arms at least hides one hand and it gives that blocking feel, all right? Also, understand with your hands that open palms invite agreement. So where hands in pockets or under the table or when they are invisible, they can pull from trust. Open palms invite agreement and warmth. So if you, and I'm doing it right now, you can't see me, but as I'm talking to you, my palm is up and I'm saying what I'm saying, okay? And it's kind of bouncing with my words. I wouldn't keep it like that for long, but that open palm is a very friendly, inviting, warm gesture that invites trust. Not only can you see my hands, but you can actually see my palms, and the palm incites trust. It's really quite interesting. All right, so I want to give you a communication tip for today. So that was first, make your hands visible. Our communication tip, though, is I want you to focus this week on asking one curious follow-up question instead of trying to impress with information. So find someone to be in a conversation with and ask a follow-up question with curiosity. And take the pressure off yourself to impress them. If you want to impress somebody, make them feel seen, valued, and understood, which is our confident connection definition of charisma. You want to be more charismatic, make the person feel seen, valued, and understood. And instead of trying to impress them with your accomplishments, ask them a follow-up question in curiosity, and I promise you, you are going to be a hero in their eyes. And here's your listener challenge for the week. Keep your hands visible. Keep your hands visible this week and see if it shifts your conversation. You may be able to tell a little bit of a shift in the conversation. Maybe you've got a client meeting coming up, or with your boss, or with a coworker, or another team member. I don't know. Like, think this week about open hands or visible hands, and occasionally a palm up gesture, and see if you feel a little bit of a shift in the conversation. All right, that's all we're going to talk about today. Thank you so much for being here. I can't wait to see you back here next week, because we are going to talk about mirroring. Make sure that you make your next connection your best connection. All right, friend, I'll see you next time. Bye for now.